Hello! Welcome to my YouTube channel, Nicole Kijak. I am Nicole Kijak, and this is part 2 of me discussing my photo series. So, the first video before this, part 1, I was trying to get a better understanding of exactly what I wanted to do with this. I was trying to discuss 7 photo series, but then I ended up discussing 5, and then 2 of them had subcategories to it. And so I feel like that was more of like a trial and error, and it lacked structure, especially with the camera overheating. Like, the camera overheats all the time, bro. It's by the window. It's by the window. And I just feel like with this video, I have a better understanding of what I want. I wrote over here, like, my goal is kind of like less time and more substance. So I don't want to like use a lot of this time discussing a lot of things, like, so I'm like refining it, like I'm pressing it. And while working on this second video, I came up with a theme. I was given the idea because I didn't realize that my photos carried a connection in some way together. They all do, of course, because they're all self-portraits, including me, but then you could also think of like different categories of what I'm doing, like the emotion, the color, the location, the intention, even time eras, and overall like things I'm going through, the similarities in that. And so the overall theme today is called the showcase. So I wrote a little overview. These photos show me in the space of my own creations, and so with the variety of these shown, I get to discuss the differences in each shoot with a connecting theme. My energy leaks through the actions of my hands, and the results are an abundance of space taken up. The distinction of each space, yet occupied by the same thing, is a representation of where that growth is expanding. So these are the photos I kind of want to discuss me in my element of my own creations, like the space I'm in, but yet kind of like a little more distinct with me being in my own creativity. You could also argue that like my face paint or even my photography and my like posing is all that of creation, and it is. But right now we're merging my original foundation of the thing that birthed me. Art. Well, pretty much like my painting. So I really do think my face paint and my photography is like, it was birthed through my foundational process of painting. Like, it all started somewhere and it expanded in that way. Like, it progressed. And I think it's really interesting because like the photos are also showcasing that progression in different spaces, if that makes sense. So, number 1, and it is titled, the series is titled, Howard the Curator. Alright, I love that in my notes for this photo shoot, I wrote that I took this on St. Patrick's Day. That's great. Okay, so I wasn't actually, and I also wrote that I wasn't intending on taking photos. So the reason why it's called Howard the Curator is because the pink sweater that I'm wearing, one of the sleeves is cut off. And the reason why it was cut off was because I stored that sweater in my little sweater nook. I have a little sweater nook in my closet, and Howard would go there occasionally to sleep, and then when he's nesting in my sweaters, he really like shreds it. I don't know what squirrels do. Like, I don't know what it's called, what they do, but when they're nesting and when they're sleeping, like, he has like a particular space in the nook where he goes, and whatever sweaters are there, he rips up. Like, I have this little box in my other closet with a scarf, and he tore that up. I love that he loves my clothing. But yeah, so I cut it off because it was just like all the seams were running and they were all pulled out. I didn't feel like I would be able to wear it, but I was like, why not just cut it? And then when I did, I was like, this is a really interesting look, because then I could have the striped green shirt, like have another layer on top of that. And this was like a simple look. I didn't really wear makeup. I don't remember if I wore a highlighter in the corner of my eye, and a little red eyeshadow, but then I had these 3 experimental long lashes, and if you watched the first part, you could see that I was experimenting, and this is just me experimenting without any like real like makeup like this. And so I was coming from somewhere and I was like, it would be really interesting to show the relational value between the clothing I'm wearing and then this artwork that I have that I'm taking photos with. It's like kind of like a cause and effect. Like Howard ripped up my sweater. I took it as an opportunity to use it part of my artwork, and so when I did, I was doing it in my studio because most of my work happens there. And you can say most of my makeup happens in my bedroom. So the spaces really depend on the activity as well, like the energy that goes in. And when I'm creating, I really like believe that like energy emanates from my hands. And so when I focus all my energy on one thing in a moment, that's like a transfer of that like intensity. Do you know what's really silly that I just realized about these photos? I barely took photos with the piece of the sweater that I used for the artwork. It's actually mostly you're seeing that it is overheating already. Mostly you're seeing me experimenting with a plate and a Chinese takeout box with an outstretched loofah over it. And that's an unfinished piece as well because I'm experimenting with ceramics. And I came to kind of like, I came to a little stop with this artwork in particular because I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to attach it to what I want it attached to. There's some type of learning that I don't have yet, or that I haven't understood yet. Oh my goodness, why you overheat? Why do you do that? It's not even hot out. Okay, give it a minute. Alright, we're back. Series number 2 is labeled The Outfit Made the Eyes. So I was getting ready to go out to a flea market and the outfit influenced just pure blue over my eyes, and it was actually kids face paint. $5 kids face paint from Walmart. I'm not promoting Walmart in any way, that's just where I got it, and it's very like potent. Like it's the pink that you see on my face. That same brand. Out of like a little container. And so I was standing on a couch taking these photos and I'm surrounded by framed pieces, 4 of them being my own, and I was trying to see if they were named. They were not named. So these pieces are not named yet because I haven't really gotten them in like a curated space or show. So these aren't necessarily new pieces. One of them is unfinished, and one of them's from 2023, 2024, and 2025. And the one that's unfinished is probably going to be 2026. And I love how I was discussing the theme before, how like kind of like the cause and effect of my art, and like it's just like there's just an impression I'm making in each year, and the progression of that, and the way it differentiates with each other. Like I didn't think me for my 2023 work, I had stumbled upon an antique store going out of business, and they sold me an entire box of frames for like $10, and I made a collage series out of that. And I didn't realize that mini-series would then influence me like finding another antique store, which is never really usually open. Like they had everything outside, and I had thrifted all these large frames. And then that influenced the 2024 work. And then the 2025 work, I was working as a framer. And this was like a frame that I got there. And it's just like, it all led to now, but right now my work is becoming more sculptural and a bit more tedious because I have to be more patient with understanding the materials I'm using, because I'm not just using frames anymore. They're pure sculpture, or they're trying to come out as sculptures. They're like slowly getting out of painting and collage and just like the two-dimensional, and they're like emerging to become something more three-dimensional but with the same bones. They don't want to escape from being a painting. They don't want to escape from being collage. They all want to be influenced by that, but they want to be something different from what they used to be, or from my earlier works. In the notes here, it said, I'm playing with shoes as a composition, and so you're gonna just be seeing that, me playing with shoes. And I think one of them's my favorite. I'm just sticking my like hand down my pants because I think I like the idea of not, like, I don't have to be proper in my photography in order to explore something. You know, like, I'm like, okay, this is an interesting idea, let me just do that. And it's just odd. And I think I'm getting more into like the oddness of my nature, and it doesn't have to be perceived like beautiful or aesthetic. Like, even with facial expressions, I'm still slowly getting into different facial expressions, but you'll see the progression later on. Okay, series 3. It is titled The Displayed and the Flyer. Okay, so series 3 and 4 that you're gonna see in this video are all kind of like, they're both kind of like, they're joined and they're related and they're associated. All my photos are associated, come on. But these two in particular are piggybacking off of each other. So I had done my makeup and I had taken photos in my studio for a flyer of a show that I was putting on last year, 2025, in July. And I wanted to promote the show, and I had made a video. So I actually made a video on my YouTube channel. I don't know what it's called because it's a year ago, but yeah, I have that. And so while creating for the flyer for my show at Madison Bagel, it's now renamed as, this is the name because I cannot pronounce it. It's in Madison, New Jersey. The address is 23 Waverly Place. Come on, 23 is my like lucky number, and Waverly Place? Come on, Selena Gomez. But yeah, so my artwork is actually still up there, and I'll discuss that more in the next section. But I was playing with the work itself and the string that you're gonna see draped over my eyes. I wanted to see the layering process between myself and the paintings hanging, and I wanted to see where it looked best compositionally. And so what I figured was like in front, but then having a different element be on me. And so the photo that did end up getting picked was the one where the string is on my face. And when I create, so I find it interesting because I naturally progressed to this. Okay, so I naturally evolved into this. And so I would paint on like sheets of canvas, like primed canvas, or even like stretched canvas on stretcher bars, or like the sheets that you would buy for school if you're in art school. And I don't know what led me to do it, but I started cutting them up. Like, I started becoming more dissatisfied with my work, and I became really interested. Oh, so I actually like got the idea to cut up my paintings through Matisse's cutouts, and I'm not sure where like exactly I learned it from, either in school, I probably did, but then I did more research on it and I got to see it at the MoMA. It is just beautiful. And I wrote a paper on his swimming one, Le Piscine. I don't know if I'm saying that right because it's in French, but Le Piscine, like that whole, like, gorgeous. He couldn't go swimming because he was experiencing hardship physically. Like, his physical nature was like deteriorating, and so he couldn't go to a swimming pool, so like he made it in his kitchen. And so that's like gorgeous. And if you want to learn more about that, don't listen to me, look it up. Okay. I love here, like, so for my series, I wrote, I wanted to grab the essence of my face, process, and space all in one photo, allowing you to see the artist as well as the cave she dwells in. Like, you're seeing my process, like you're seeing the cutouts hung up from my ceiling, and my studio has that all around it because I have like, I don't exactly have like it's not serious. Like it's like object impermanence. Like I don't have that, but like I forget something's there if I don't see it. So it's like another reason why I have my clothing hung up so I can see exactly what belongs with what. So when I have these paintings hung up, the way my process and my eye works, if I see something that if I'm working on something and then I see something hung up, my eye will exactly tell me if it's for that piece or not. So something could be hung up for like a year or two or like a decade, or even like a moment. When that timing is right for it to come out in a work that I'm working on now, then it will be chosen, and having it hung out is helpful. All right, number 4. It is called the demonstration. So this was a big milestone of mine, honestly. And so I called it the demonstration because I'm demonstrating to myself that I can do it. But I'm also demonstrating to myself that I have to take it easy, because I made 47 artworks in the span of 6 months, and I didn't do it in a healthy way. I was abusing caffeine and cigarettes, and I was abusing a lot of things, like in that sense. Well, those things, yeah, but like I wasn't sleeping, you know, like I didn't understand like a more balanced schedule. But the show is so good. Oh my goodness. It's at the place that I told you about. The Davovich. Actually, I don't know. I don't know how to say it. When I showed at it, it was called Madison Bagel, but now it's called something else. And I was just feeling just pure gratitude that I put this like whole show together. The fact that I was able to do that, the fact that I was able to set that up, but it also showed me like like taking it easy in the way of like taking my time, but then having steps. So now, like, I'm able to do I'm doing videos now, but I, like, took a break so then I can establish a more balanced approach to everything that I want to do. And I feel better, and I don't feel pressured. Sometimes I make myself feel pressured. And you're gonna see in some of the photos that my mural is peeking through. And so I did a mural for them, and then the owner was telling me that he was looking for artists to hang up work. I'm like, I can hang up work. He was like, okay, you can have this wall. I'm like, okay. And then when I brought the work in, he was like, can you bring, like, he was trying to do other decorations there, but they just kind of like fell through. And so as I was bringing in more artworks, he was allotting me more space, and that naturally just came to be. And in total, I have 48 artworks. I know I said that I spent 6 months doing 47, but one of them I had done previously, the year before. And so this, like, wow, my art is just hung up in a space, and it worked as, you know, it's like that whole type of thing with like faith over fear. Like, I was coming to the point like I don't know if I can continue creating art at the volume that I'm creating, because I'm afraid that I don't have the space for it. I wrote here that I really displayed myself as a spectacle in my own element, and that is creating. And so I was just showing the result of like just not giving up. Yeah. And so I think that's all I want to talk about. And I think I like what I spoke about this video. And if anything's missing, Nicole, the editor / typer, will say something. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a nice day. I'll see you in the next one. And I'm gonna make a video soon on a series of little sculptures that I'm finishing up now. So tune in. See you soon. Oh yeah, if you want to see more of my work, I have my website down below. I have my Ko-Fi, I have my shop. So it's in the description. So I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!